The GameCube is one of Nintendo's more interesting consoles in their history. Despite modest sales, it was a powerhouse that received a good number of timeless classics. When it comes to RPGs, these are the ones that stand above the rest and are still worth playing today. While many think Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee are the first home console Pokemon RPGs, the real honor belongs to Pokemon Colosseum. Following up these stadium games on the Nintendo 64 that allowed players to import their handheld Pokemon to battle on the big screen, Colosseum included a story about capturing and saving shadow Pokemon, and has evolved to be a bit of a cult classic. This choice-driven LucasArts tactical RPG sees players take control of a school of gladiators in either one of two regions. With the addition of a great multiplayer offering on top of its fantastic single-player campaign, Gladius is an overlooked title that deserves at least one more shot. Monolith Soft, famous for their work on the Xenoblade Chronicles games, put out two GameCube RPGs within the Baten Kaido series. The first game was created specifically because there were so few JRPGs on the console, and its unique card system combat caught the eyes of many. Both entries would later go on to be remastered. The spin-off that sprouted a sub-series, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, brought multiplayer Final Fantasy to the masses and took advantage of a unique element of the GameCube. Plugging in 4 Game Boy Advance consoles, players would be able to use their individual handhelds to adventure together, all on the same TV. Much like the Ultimate Alliance series from the same era, X-Men Legends 2 Rise of Apocalypse is a top-down action RPG that sees players fighting through dungeons on a quest to stop Apocalypse. The X-Men and the Evil Brotherhood team up to make up a roster of 18 characters. This remains one of the best games for the iconic Marvel team. This Dreamcast classic saw a second life on the GameCube. Skies of Arcadia Legends follows a Robin Hood-like pair of air pirates trying to fight off an evil empire. With great world building, characters, a world-class soundtrack, and a whole lot more, players are still waiting for a sequel or even a remaster. Before catching on internationally thanks to the 3DS's Fire Emblem Awakening, Fire Emblem found some success on the GameCube with Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. Featuring the series' iconic permadeath and turn-based strategy combat, Path of Radiance brought everyone's favorite melee fighter, Ike, to the front lines of a continent-spanning war. Tales of Symphonia is a landmark entry in the Tales of series. With a heart-wrenching story that stays with you whenever you play it, there is a reason that fans of this GameCube RPG were quite passionate about its latest re-release. The Tales of series began to get a foothold with wider audiences here, and paved the way for future entries like Tales of Arise. Before Baldur's Gate 3 and after Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance hit the GameCube with a surprisingly dark Dungeons & Dragons adventure in the Forgotten Realms. Dark Alliance was a massive step forward for the franchise, and Western RPGs overall. Having a remake that's playable on modern platforms, fans of the latest entry in the series may be interested to see where some of this great acclaim began. Mario is one of Nintendo's most three-dimensional characters due to how versatile he is at tackling nearly any genre. Making him 2D, Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door is perhaps the most success the plumber has found in the RPG space. A story flipping most of the Mushroom Kingdom characters and their roles on their head, players have long celebrated the combat, characters, and most of all, the writing of this GameCube classic that's getting a second life on Nintendo Switch. And those are the best of the best when it comes to GameCube RPGs. The library may be limited, but it managed to hold many games in it that stood the test of time. For more lists like this, stay tuned to Game Rant.